Hello friends, I have a couple things I want to go over tonight. For one, this is an update on the grapes that I preserved in kefir. These grapes are they're about 12 days old. They had already been in the kefir a few days when I did the first video, and that's been a week, I know. So I want to show you how firm these grapes still are. I mean, they're just as firm as the day that I bought them, and crunchy and nice, and they mellow out the kefir. So if you want a little snack, you can just pour them out in a bowl and eat the grapes and drink the kefir, and it's a nice satisfying snack full of nutrition. So that works, and it's awesome, and I'm going to continue doing it with different fruits. The thing about a second fermentation out on the counter with fruit is the kefir becomes very active and consumes a lot of the sugar. You could make a very effervescent kefir, which would be very delicious, by second fermenting it, maybe with some grapes. But in that case, I would slice them in half to give the kefir easy access to the sugar inside this the skin of the grapes. But anyway, this is a different concept of trying to preserve the vegetables, and so you just want to keep the vegetables in your refrigerator for a long period of time without worrying about them getting bad, soggy, slimy, whatever. And at the same time, it's just a great way of handling the fruit situation. If you want to prepare a lot of fruit one day of the week for your lunches during the week, like say you want to slice up a bunch of apples, you could do the same thing. And you can it's just endless what you could do. You could throw some nuts in there too, and you accomplish the purpose of soaking the nuts, and everything just has a nice little zing to it with the kefir, and it's easy travel. Just throw it in a mason jar and seal it up and put it in your lunchbox or whatever, and you're good to go. So I think it's a good option. You can put a lot of different things in there. So this is apples and radishes, which I put in a jar with some distilled water. And then this is a shortcut tip for my clients who maybe are very, very busy and still want to do some of the traditional things for health purposes. And so what I did is I bought, now normally I either wild ferment, which is using sea salt and then going that whole route. But like I said, this is a shortcut because we need different options for different people. Everybody has a different lifestyle, and we want to address everything. So this is an easy, quick way to ferment or culture your fruits and vegetables. You can just get some probiotic capsules like you would take as a supplement and use them to ferment your whatever it is you're wanting to ferment. Just make sure that you get as many strains as you can. This one has 24 strains, and as much culture as you can. 100 billion is the highest I've seen. And so then it's going to be very effective, and it's going to give you lots of wonderful bugs to eat. This is just as bubbly. This is only day 2, and it's very bubbly. I'll show you one that I haven't been messing around with too much. So you can see the bubbles. You see the bubbles going up? Lots of bubbles. It's very bubbly, especially for day 2. So it's going to even be bubblier tomorrow. And check this one. Yeah, see all those bubbles? Wonderful bubbles. That means that it is having a party in the apples and radishes. And anyway, so in a few more days, since this is fruit, you watch out for it a little bit more because you don't want it to get overly active and start turning into alcohol or anything. You just want to get it nice and happy. And then you want to transfer it to the refrigerator. And that's another way of preserving it. And just remember, if you preserve like this, you're going to want to drink that juice You're not going to want to waste that juice because that's some healthy stuff there. And it just makes things easier to transfer, like to, you know, it's already packed for lunch or whatever. So that's easy. And the last thing that I want to go over that I did today was, you know, this whole soaking nuts thing threw me for a loop. Mostly because I know of the time constraints of everyone else who wants to do these things and I want to help them. So this is sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds. I see where it could be doable, even for busy people. Just get in a habit of putting your seeds out either in the morning or at night and filling the jar with water. So with this, I put this much and then I filled it all the way up with water. And when I came into the kitchen a time or two, I drained it and refilled it. And in that time, these actually sprouted because they're raw. You can see the little sprouts. Just the little tips of the sprouts coming out of the seeds. And then I took them and I put them on a pan and spread them out and put them in the oven. And I set it on 190 degrees. So it was very low and just left it on for a few minutes to heat up. And then I just turned the oven off and let the seeds stay in there. So you could literally get up in the morning, stick them in the oven and heat the oven. And then before you leave, turn it off. Or if you're afraid you'll forget, just do it at night. Soak them in the morning and stick them in the oven at night. As long as you turn the oven off, then they'll just get nice and crunchy, and then you can put them back into a jar and be good to go. So I think I covered enough for one night. Everybody have a great evening, and we'll just keep trucking forward.